This company was worth 20 billion euros, and almost half of its money never existed. Everything you're about to hear is real, and it happened in Germany, one of the most regulated financial systems in the world. Wirecard was supposed to be Europe's tech champion. Instead, it became one of the largest financial frauds in modern history. This is how it happened. For years, Wirecard was presented as proof that Germany could compete with Silicon Valley. It was modern, fast, technological. A financial company that did not feel old or conservative. In a country known for engineering and caution, Wirecard represented speed and ambition. Founded in 1999, Wirecard positioned itself as a digital payments company. It processed transactions for online merchants, including gambling sites, adult platforms, and later mainstream businesses. This alone made it unusual. Most traditional banks avoided such clients. Wirecard embraced them. As e-commerce exploded, Wirecard grew alongside it. The company promised seamless global payments. Investors loved the story, regulators trusted the structure, and Germany wanted a tech champion. Markus Braun, the CEO, was central to this image. He dressed simply, spoke carefully, and projected confidence. He talked about innovation, AI, and the future of finance. He rarely appeared emotional. He looked like a man in control. Wirecard's revenues climbed year after year. The company joined Germany's prestigious DAX index in 2018. Replacing Commerzbank that moment mattered. It signaled legitimacy. It told the world that Wirecard was not just a startup. It was part of the financial establishment. Few noticed how complex the business really was. Wirecard boasted huge profits in Asia and other emerging markets, calling them high growth and cash-rich. The catch, visibility was a real issue since most of their business was done through third-party partners, making it tough to verify anything independently. Still, the numbers looked strong. Too strong. In 2008, whispers began. Small journalists and short sellers questioned Wirecard's accounting. They pointed to inconsistencies, delayed disclosures, unusual acquisitions. The company responded aggressively. Wirecard sued critics. It accused journalists of market manipulation. It framed out as an attack on German innovation. This tactic worked. Regulators sided with Germany's financial watchdog, BaFin, did something unusual. It investigated the critics instead of the company. Short selling of Wirecard stock was temporarily banned. This sent a clear message. Wirecard was protected. The most persistent critic was the Financial Times. The paper published multiple investigations over the years, raising questions about fake revenues and inflated profits. Each time, Wirecard denied everything. Internal whistleblowers tried to speak. They were ignored or silenced. Some were threatened with legal action. The company culture did not tolerate doubt. At the center of the mystery was cash. Wirecard claimed to hold large sums in trustee accounts in Asian banks. These accounts supposedly held billions of euros on behalf of what? The problem was simple. No one ever saw the money. Auditors from EY signed off on Wirecard's accounts year after year. They relied on documents provided by third parties. Bank confirmations arrived by fax, scanned, poor quality, but accepted. As long as the stock rose, questions were inconvenient. By 2019, Wirecard was worth over 20 billion euros. It was celebrated in business magazines, praised by politicians, and taught as a case study in digital transformation. But beneath the success story was a hollow core. The profits were not real. The cash did not exist, and the structure was beginning to crack. All it needed was one verification attempt that failed, and that moment was approaching. In early 2020, the pressure became impossible to ignore. Investors demanded clarity. The Financial Times continued publishing evidence. Wirecard promised transparency. The company announced a delay in its annual report. This was alarming. Delays signaled trouble in finance. Wirecard blamed logistical issues, but markets reacted. EY demanded direct confirmation of the trustee accounts. This time, not through intermediaries, not through documents sent by wire, but directly from the banks. Wirecard claimed the cash was there, 2 billion euros safe in the Philippines. When EY contacted the banks, the response was immediate and devastating. The banks stated clearly they had no such accounts. The documents Wirecard provided were false. The cash did not exist. On June 18, 2020, Wirecard admitted that 1.9 billion euros were missing. The announcement was short, clinical, but the impact was explosive. The stock collapsed almost instantly, from over 100 euros to nearly zero in days. Investors panicked. Employees were stunned. Marcus Brown resigned the next day. He claimed innocence. He said he had been misled. He insisted the company was a victim of fraud by others. That explanation raised a question. If the CEO did not know where nearly 2 billion euros were, what exactly was he managing? Soon after, Brown was arrested. He was charged with market manipulation and fraud. He denied the allegations. Another figure emerged. Jan Marsalek. The coup. Marsalek had overseen Wirecard's operations in Asia. He was charismatic, secretive, and deeply connected. When the scandal broke, Marsalek disappeared. He boarded a private jet. He left Europe, and vanished. Reports later suggested he fled to Russia. He was linked to intelligence agencies, private militias, and covert networks. His whereabouts remain unknown. Investigators uncovered a shocking truth. Wirecard had been fabricating profits for years. The Asian business was largely fake. Revenues were invented. Cash was simulated through forged documents. Fake contracts, fake customers, fake confirmations. The company had been reporting growth that did not exist. Each year, the hole grew larger, and every year, it was covered with more deception. Regulators faced humiliation. BaFin had ignored warnings. Instead of protecting investors, it had protected the company. Auditors faced scrutiny. How could EY miss such a massive fraud for over a decade? The answer was uncomfortable. The system trusted appearances. Processes were followed. But skepticism was absent. Wirecard filed for insolvency on June 25, 2020. It was the first DAX company in history to do so. Employees lost their jobs overnight. Investors lost billions. Pension funds were damaged. The reputation of German financial oversight was shattered. But the story did not end with collapse. The deeper investigators looked, the more disturbing it became. This was not a simple accounting fraud. It was an ecosystem of failure, and the most troubling question remained: who knew and when? As investigations unfolded, the scale of the Wirecard scandal expanded. Prosecutors uncovered evidence that the fraud had been ongoing since at least 2009. That meant over a decade of false reporting. Internal emails showed that senior executives were aware of inconsistencies. Some raised concerns. They were dismissed. Others benefited directly. The board failed to challenge management. The auditors failed to verify independently. Regulators failed to act. Each layer trusted the next. Germany launched parliamentary inquiries. The country asked itself how a fraud of this size could hide in plain sight. The answer was structural. Wirecard exploited complexity. It operated across borders, used third-party partners, and relied on opaque jurisdictions. This made verification slow and difficult. But difficulty is not impossibility. It is an excuse. The scandal forced resignations at BaFin. Laws were rewritten, audit rules tightened. But trust, once lost, does not return easily. Marcus Brown remains in legal limbo. His trial has dragged on. He continues to deny responsibility. He portrays himself as a visionary, betrayed by subordinates. Jan Marsalek remains a ghost. His disappearance turned Wirecard from a corporate scandal into something darker, a story involving intelligence services, fake identities, and geopolitical shadows. For investors, the damage was irreversible. Billions were gone, not misplaced, not delayed, but gone. For Germany, the embarrassment cut deep. The country prided itself on financial discipline. Wirecard exposed arrogance. The Wirecard lesson isn't just about fraud existing. It's about how fraud thrives when institutions focus on success instead of questioning it. Wirecard was protected because it symbolized progress. DAO was framed as sabotage. Critics were treated as enemies. This created a dangerous environment where loyalty replaced scrutiny and confidence replaced verification. Wirecard did not fail because it was too complex. It failed because too many people stopped asking simple questions. Where is the cash? In the end, that question destroyed a 20 billion euro company. And it remains the most important question in finance. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.